Good evening, everybody. I'm Todd Burrier. Welcome to our Life Plus Experience Zoom, our weekly Life Plus Experience Zoom. I'm coming to you from my home in New Bern, North Carolina. We've got all kinds of super cool people all over the country on tonight. So just a little bit, I have muted everybody except the speakers. At least I think. I'm no technical genius, so that may come out in some way. You do have a chat box at the bottom, so if there's a question you'd like to ask as we go through, feel free. We'll answer anything we can. As you can tell, we're relatively informal, and tonight is really just to give you a feel for what Life Plus is all about, and how it's made an impact in some people's lives. If you're new to us, this is a very unique company, and it really, the community in this company provides an opportunity to really to flourish in any capacity in your life. Obviously, health, that is foundational, your relationships, in your work, developmentally, and obviously here as well if you want to grow an income with us. For those of you who are new, just a little bit on the company itself. Life Plus is based in Batesville, Arkansas. They have been manufacturing awesome products since 1992, but actually the roots go back farther than that, well back into the mid-70s when the current ownership took over the manufacturing, and literally the manufacturing prior to that stretches back to 1936. We are the pioneers of referral marketing, which you'll learn a little bit more about that tonight. But what it means is not only do people have access to awesome products, the best of the best, and tonight our actual FAQ, which we will talk about, is what makes these products so special. But also, they have the opportunity to grow something without risk. This is a very, very unique business model where you do not have sign-up fees or inventory. You get your website's free, your training is free. It's very unique. And we're really about helping people. You're not going to get any hype here. This is the kind of thing where we want you to be comfortable to learn what you need to know, because the deeper you look, the better this gets. And I would know because this is my 24th year in this company, and it has been an incredible experience for my family. It's led to opportunities in every capacity in our lives, and I'll touch on that a little bit more later. But tonight with me, you have two awesome people you're going to hear from, Jenny Davis and Paul the Doc Welliver, and myself. They'll share some of their experiences, and then we'll answer the FAQ, and then if you have any questions you want to pop in the chat box, we'll answer those as well. So we're going to start with Jenny Davis, who's in Westminster, Maryland. She is Jenny, the health coach. You might guess she's a health coach. She's had great experience with the company and the product. She's a mother of four boys, and she still has hair on her head, which is really quite a testament to her. But you can also visit her at jennythehealthcoach.com. And so, Jenny, why don't you share a little bit about your experience, my friend?
Okay, so I'm Jenny, and I am a health coach who clearly is technologically challenged. Sorry about that. I have had a very long history of multiple autoimmune diseases since I was about the age of 18, really. And after 5 surgeries and not getting results with traditional medication, I began to be my own advocate and move in the direction of a more holistic treatment plan, because the pain, the sleepless nights, the lack of energy, the unexplained weight gain, and the depression were just not getting any better. So while I was on my search for a more natural approach to my health, that's when I was introduced to Life Plus. And at that point, I began to use some of their targeted products to encourage my body to heal itself. Because this was such a huge success for me, after many, many years of trial and error, this speaks volumes to the Life Plus products, that not only can we heal our body through nutrition, but when given the proper nutrients through supplementation, the body will begin to work at its optimal level. So not only do I have personal experience with this, but I've also seen very many positive results in a doctor's office setting, where I do some health coaching with patients there.
I can't see you, so are you done?
Done.
All right, you're done. Thanks, Jenny. We're going to pop over to Paul the Doc Welliver. So let me give you a little bit about this guy. This is one of the biggest hearted people I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of people. He's just such a good guy. He's probably helped more people than any 5 people you know put together. He is coming to us from Baltimore, Maryland. He has been an athletic trainer for all 4 major sports in the U.S. He's in the Maryland Athletic Training Hall of Fame. He is a massage therapist. I believe has a master's degree in sports medicine. Am I right about that, Doc?
Yeah.
Like one of your 2 master's degrees. 2 weeks ago marked his 20th anniversary of being in Life Plus, which is pretty dang cool. And so, Doc, why don't you share a little bit of your experience with everybody? And all I can say, folks, is if you've never heard the Doc speak, fasten your seatbelt.
Okay. Thank you, Todd. Can you see me okay and all this?
Oh,
Doc Welliver here. I was an athletic trainer way before people knew what it was. So I go off to get a master's degree in sports medicine. I go to Indiana State University. I meet Larry Bird, one of the greatest basketball players in history. I've worked at, like Todd said, all 4 pro sports, and I've done Olympic trials. And so as an athletic trainer, when I'd go to yearly sports medicine meetings, I saw the latest products. What's the latest thing? Because there's got to be a better way. We've got to get better performance out of our Olympians and our pros. These people are basically get paid to perform. And so all these years I've seen the better mousetrap, but it really wasn't that much better. And I always believed you had to take vitamins. You should know that my father was a board-certified family medicine physician, which is a very difficult board to pass. He believed that you always dug your grave with your teeth. So if you didn't eat correctly, I mean, I was raised by a really smart, down-to-earth physician, and he made me take vitamins even as a kid, even though we ate fine. But as time goes on and you get older, food isn't cutting it. And we see society now, especially now, coming up with syndromes that we just can't explain. That's what a syndrome is. A group of symptoms when placed together can't be explained. And so you call it a syndrome and you go, let's try this drug. And Jenny talked about it. Autoimmunes are skyrocketing and all that kind of stuff. But all through my career, well, first master's degree, second master's degree, athletic training, sports medicine, there's got to be a better way. So then I start taking karate in the late 90s with Todd Burrier, and this guy won't tell me what he does. So when you start thinking about multi-level stuff, Todd's the antithesis. He won't tell me what he does. I tell him what I do. I checked out his knee, got him in a knee surgery, first of many times, and we hung out and we would spar and he would sidekick me to the ribs. I'd block it. He'd punch me in my face. So we got to be great friends. And then finally he says, I'm a nutritional consultant and you should know about this brand new product we're coming out with and you should try it. Well, it could have been sawdust. I was going to do it because this guy was a high performer and very healthy. And so what is it? Daily Biobasics. And I tried Daily Biobasics Part 1 and it was just awful. It was just awful. But I'm so glad my wife really understood what it did. And she's a lawyer, but she really saw some benefit instantly and she made fun of me, so we stayed with it. And that's 20 years ago, Daily Biobasics. And then I figured out quick. I'm a pretty quick study. So I figured out if I get people to try Biobasics, same prices, be all that kind of stuff, I'm helping Todd. Man, and I don't have to do anything fancy or, I don't have to go to big meetings and sign up and be promised a yacht. I just thought it was the greatest thing to do, right? And then, of course, I try a few more things. Well, now I got, bottles and bottles and stuff I take daily besides Biobasics Pro Ethanol, I'm a gold vitamin C, brain formula, cat's claw, and here's the bottom line. Life Plus enables you to understand what's going on in the world from a different perspective. Yeah, I was trained in sports medicine, traditional orthopedics. My father was a doctor, but you start to realize there's a better way. You always think there's got to be a better way. There was a better way. You start talking about what can you give your body to heal itself as opposed to a prescription drug that'll tell your body to do something it doesn't want to do to begin with. So Life Plus has opened up all sorts of avenues for me to help people, which is what it's all about. So that's my story. Thank God my wife made fun of me, and we stuck with it.
You know, Doc doesn't usually tell much about his business story, just because literally to tell Doc to talk for 5 minutes is, I'm surprised that you managed to do that, really. I mean, he could have talked for 1 hour just about that part of what he shared. He's also built a tremendous business that's provided a lot of revenue for his family over the years. Yeah. And he's helped a lot of people, and that's what this is really all about. You know, I'm going to just share a little bit from the business side to give you some insight on that. You know, I as I said before, I've been with the company now this is my 24th year. I remember the day I learned about it and it was a product, which is what attracted me, as someone had gotten a great result that I knew very well. But it was the mechanism and the way they did business that really got me interested, because I'd never seen a company that was willing to provide an opportunity for people where they didn't have to pay a sign-up fee or buy a starter kit or inventory their products or have some ridiculous stair-stepped quota that was, you know, way out of most people's reach, or require them to have backdoor inventory or charge them lots of fees. This company wasn't doing that. They were literally embodying the philosophy of helping others as a means to help yourself. And that's literally how our marketing structure is. Nobody's going to put their kids through college because someone tries a product. What we do is help others to improve their lives in whatever capacity that they want. And then through that process, you can develop quite an income if you want. And it is an extremely stable income. I mean, literally at one point in my career, I took 6 years off where I did not proactively work the business. So imagine that, you know, that's just not something you would normally see. Now, I built a big business by that point, but it's the nature of how this is. It can be whatever you want it to be. But what attracted me was that the company literally modeled the helping others philosophy by keeping all the risk. That told me a couple of things about them when I first learned about it. One is they must make incredible products. I mean, there's no way you could do that without making incredible products and believing that you made incredible products. And then the second thing it told me was they must work, because when I learned about this, it had been in existence for 4 years. And it's gone on to grow tremendously internationally. We're not very well known in the United States. The majority of the company's volume is in Europe. And, you know, my personal perspective on that is the European lifestyle is a little more holistically oriented and family oriented. And they saw the ethics of this model and the quality of the product and the nature of how we operate and said, oh, that's a cool thing. And so we are now beginning to make some headway in the US, even though that was the beginning of our roots. But the deeper you look, I said this earlier, the better this will get, whether it's something you'd like to just make a little extra money as a side gig, or whether it's something you'd like to do in a big fashion like I did and have it provide a great life for your family where you have complete control of your time without a single penny of risk. That's possible too, and we work with you and show you how to do that. But I will say this, you got to be kind, you got to be honest, you got to be respectful. That's the nature of our model. It doesn't work any other way, and you got to like to help people, you know. So I tell you that because if you don't, then this probably won't work for you. It's probably not going to fit you, and that's okay, right? There could be something else out there for you. But the topic that we wanted to address tonight is, you know, you've heard about products, you know, Doc talked about a few specifics, but you always hear about products because we're a product-based opportunity. It is the quality of our product and the fairness of our model, which is what makes this such a real thing. But it still comes down to product, because products are what create opportunity. And so we're gonna talk a little bit now about what makes these products so special. Let's face it, everybody says they have great products, right? Nobody says, hey, I got this really crappy product, but you should use it, right? That's not what everybody says. They say ours is the greatest this or ours is the greatest that. And you know, we don't make our living by putting other things down. I'm just telling you that I don't know of better products than these, but let's get some insight as to why. So first, Jenny, well, from your perspective, given what you know.
Yeah, so with the positive results that I got from the supplements that I was taking for my autoimmune disorders, it didn't take me long to figure out that I wanted to be part of the business community that existed. So at that time in my life, I was a stay-at-home mom to 4 young boys, and we were a single-income blended family. So life was extremely busy, and with those busy schedules, Life Plus gave me the freedom to work the business with the little bit of time that I did have. And because we were a single-income family, the fact that there was no sign-up fee, there was no need to buy products ahead of time and stock them on my shelf at my house. That was very attractive to me, in addition to the fact that this was all done simply by referral, which makes it much more fun since there's no pressure on my end and there's no pressure on their end.
Yeah, that is something that it's actually hard for people to actually get. Right? we take it for granted. Like, let's say, oh yeah, there's no sign up fee, there's not. But people don't really understand that, right? They're like, it takes a little while before they go, oh, really? You know. Now, Jenny, you had been on lots of different products too prior to these, had you not?
Yes, I prior to starting the Life Plus products, I had seen a naturopath doctor who put me on. You know, they were high quality nutrients, but gosh, I was on those things for almost 2 years and I wasn't seeing nearly the results as fast as I did with the Life Plus products that I started taking. So for me, it was a game changer for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Doc?
Yeah.
Well, Jenny's been to the labs. I've been to the labs. Of course, Todd, you've been to the labs on several occasions. And when you go to our laboratory in Batesville, Arkansas, I can't believe the equipment and the sensitivity of the equipment and testing the raw materials and looking for the purity. And it's screened for all these toxic metals and all this. And you know why there's lead in the soil all over the world? It's because we used to use leaded gasoline in our planes and trains and automobiles and tractors. And so we screen for lead. We're better than organic. We get all the other bad stuff out of it. We have something that tests for impurity. You can find 1 drop of water in 20 Olympic swimming pools. We have high quality, organic, super organic, screened for toxic metals, you know, supplements, and they work. 2 quick stories. I sponsored a few doctors in my day, and the doctors use the products, and then they tell their patients about it, and their patients don't have to buy it or whatever. And one lady, the doctor says, I want you to put this lady on BioBasics. And she's 85 years old. And I put her on BioBasics, and she would call me every 6 weeks, and I'd send her another one. She'd write me a check, and she called me crying in 2 months. And she's 85 years old. She said, BioBasics has given me normal bodily function for the first time in 50 years. So we're talking, she had all sorts of problems, digestive problems for 50 years. And she stayed on BioBasics for 10 more years till she was 95 and she died. We gave her 10 great years at the end. I can't imagine feeling sick for 50 years and taking drugs and going to doctors, getting tests, CAT scans, and all that kind of stuff. I can't imagine it, but she got a great result from BioBasics. The other thing happened to me at the gym last year. I take proanthanols, extra antioxidants, and some other things from Life Plus after a workout, because after you exercise, you metabolize free-floating radicals in the bloodstream. And so to suck up all these impurities, that's when you take your proanthanols, and it's called extra antioxidants. I take 2 C's and 2 E's. Okay, so I'm taking my vitamins after the workout. This old guy, I don't even know this guy. I mean, I love him now, but I don't know this guy. So because he says, what are you taking? I said, I'm taking antioxidants. What are you doing that for? I said, it made me feel better. He says, You should send me some because I see you do it 4 times a week. I said, okay, what's your name and address? So I signed the guy up on the phone. I paid for it. He says, I'll send you a check. So he sent me a check. He's been on proantholols for 1.5 years. But what he says to me after 3 months, he walks up to me. He goes, let me tell you something. I didn't believe you. I just thought I tried proantholols. I thought you're full of it. I won't say it. But I thought you're full of it. But I've been the first year, and he's 84 years old. This first time 80 years, I haven't had allergies and taken out a Claritin, and I thought you're full of baloney. I said, and my knees don't hurt. I said, okay, Gerald, I'm telling you. This guy's 84 and he plays tennis like 4 or 5 times a week. Just flew to New Mexico for the Senior Olympics. He thinks proantholols are the greatest since he met me. Anyway, you can tell people stuff. They don't care. But you tell them what you can do for them, and you tell them a story, man. They're ready to go. And then all I need is a name and address. And I was out on a limb. I didn't know where the guy lived or anything, but he had his address. I'd hunt him down if he didn't pay me back. He did anyway. But then he used his credit card. He says, can I get this every month? I said, absolutely, Gerald. I saw him today trying to hide from it, but he's always teasing me. He loves proantholols, and they're helping his wife, too. Anyway, stories are the greatest thing, and I go on forever. We had this guy from Philadelphia used to come down and talk about proantholols. You remember he says, I couldn't move my shoulder. He was an old guy, too. He said, I can't move my shoulder and not take proantholols. And he jerked his arm up in the air. You remember that guy from Philadelphia? I'll never forget what our products do for people on a large scale, on a small scale. Unbelievable. And that's how we make our products. True story.
Doc, we need to have a longer one so you can tell more stories. But I mean,
no, that's enough.
that is such a unique feature. Actually, I got to tell a little story that Doc maybe just reminded me of, because it gives you an understanding of what's possible even without thinking about it. Obviously, I built my business very proactively. I built it like a business. Right? I had the mentality of work, and I grew a business. 30 days into building the business, I called somebody, right? Because I called every single person I ever met in my life and just said, hey, this is what I found. You want to check it out? I mean, the beautiful thing about our products is the company makes them. They're small batch made, so they are fresh. They cold process, which, by the way, you should never use a supplement that's not cold processed. You're just throwing your money away. Carrots don't grow in 300-degree heat, right? They don't, because it kills them. Heat denatures enzymes, kills vitamins. And these products are all cold pressed. In addition to, Doc was talking a little bit about the purity. But anyway, I digressed a little bit because I wanted to share this little nugget with you to show you the power of these products. And so I got involved because of a product, but it was a business opportunity I worked at, but the products were the fuel. And so I'm talking to this man, and he wasn't interested in the opportunity. He was an entrepreneur that I knew had some home business experience, but he said, he was building a company at that time. But, I told him the story, how they helped my friend and what they wiped out my allergies. And, I said, this is what this product, I've seen it do great stuff. And he said, well, you think it would help my mom? And I said, I don't know. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't. You send it back. It's another, when I first learned that, I can get started without any risk. If I don't like the product, I can send it back. My mentality was I'd be crazy not to. But that's me. I know that that's not everybody, but that was me. There was no risk. And so he goes, all right, let me get a bottle of that. So he orders a bottle of the product, and I don't hear from him. I try to reach him to follow up. Don't hear from him. Plus, I was working pretty fast, so I wasn't following up very well at that time, just to be honest. And he calls me about a month later, and he goes, hey, what's my PIN number? What's my account number? I'm like, well, what do you need it for? And he says, my mother swears these products are helping her, right? So she had some sort of pain issues or something. And he said, she swears, like he didn't believe it, right? Like, I don't really believe it, but she swears it's helping her. So I tell him, here's how you order it. So he orders it. And then a month later, he calls me again. He's on vacation now, but he calls me from like the Catskills in the mountains or something and says, I need my account number again, because I have a friend in Alaska who wants to order these products. He goes, how do I do that? I said, yeah, easy. You just give them the phone number and tell them that you referred them. And so he does that. Over the next year, $20,000 per month of volume developed in that organization. And there wasn't a single person in that organization who was serious about building the business. It was all, I'm not telling you that's going to happen. I'm just telling you it's possible. And that's actually one of the things that we don't talk enough about that I want to give you as kind of a last nugget. You know, I don't know what your life is like. And only you do, and only you know your reasons for looking into things and why you might consider something. But you know, a lot of people go through life and every day sort of looks the same. It looks the same from start to finish. And the possibility that something awesome could happen for them in that day is not remotely in their mind. It's more about getting through the day. When you are actively engaged in something like this, where you are communicating with people and offering them a chance to help themselves and being a catalyst to do that, and then being willing to help them. You see, that's another part of this. If someone joins our team, we don't benefit unless they get benefit. And so they don't just get a product, they don't just get an opportunity, they get people that will literally help them go after what they want in life. Where else do you get that? Like, I teach corporations. I've done 4 corporate retreats in the last 2.5 weeks where I'm in corporations teaching people. In the best companies in the world, they don't have that. They don't have access to someone who cares enough about them to invest in helping them accomplish their goals and dreams. You get that from day one here. Now, whether you choose it, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. I mean, seriously, that's the truth. We respect whatever your decision is. But you know, when you are involved in an opportunity like this, a really fair, honest, ethical way to help people and help yourself and develop yourself, every moment you're breathing, something really cool could happen. Think about that. When you wake up in the morning, if you're willing to open your mouth, I call it chucking a life preserver, because everywhere you look around you, there are people struggling. They're struggling physically, they're struggling financially, they're struggling with who they should be in their life, they're suppressing their dreams, everybody is dealing with that. And we offer hope. Not only do we offer hope, we're willing to help people. And man, that is a really cool thing. So as a total tangent, I had no intention of saying that, but I did. So there it is for what it's worth. So we like to stick to our time schedule. I don't see any questions in the chat box. We appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for being on. We hope this was helpful. If anybody wants to talk to me, I'm wide open. Call me. I'm happy to share any aspect, and you will find that completely in our community. Anybody will help you figure out what you need to know to figure out if this is something that fits you and what you want to do with your life. Jenny, thank you so much for taking your time to be on to share. Doc, thank you so much for you being on. We will do this again. We do this roughly every week, thanks to Christina Hall. She is the brainchild of this particular event, which is serving a lot of people already, and we can't wait to blow it out so our Zooms don't even work because there's too many people. The next one, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a week from Saturday, because we want to do a Saturday once a month. So that will be our next one, not this coming Saturday, but the following. And then we'll move into October. So appreciate you all. Thank you for being here tonight. Hope you got value, and wish you all good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.